Hello and welcome to Web Math Academy, where today we're going to discuss normal distributions and the standard deviation. In our last tutorial, we constructed a histogram of the on-time arrival rates for various airports across the country, and we showed how it has roughly a bell shape. Our first figure up here shows what the normal distribution is, and that is a bell shape across the mean of the data, which means that most of the data is closer to the mean. Looking at our histogram down below, we can see that it also has a roughly bell shape, showing that it has a normal distribution. An important parameter of the normal distribution is the standard deviation or spread of the data. The larger the standard deviation, the more spread out the data is. One standard deviation is the amount of data within 68% of the mean. Two standard deviations is the amount of data within 95% of the mean. And finally, 3 standard deviations is the amount of data within 99.7% of the mean. The formula for the standard deviation is the square root of the sum of each data value x minus the mean x bar squared, divided by the total number of data points minus 1. This is somewhat of a complicated formula, and it takes some mathematical doings in order to get the number. Thankfully, we have Microsoft Excel or our ti-nspire graphing calculator to calculate the standard deviation for us. To do that on our calculator, we go over to the left here, and you can see that I already have the data input in from our last tutorial. And to get the standard deviation and the mean, I'm just going to go over to Menu, Statistics, Statistics Calculations, one variable statistics, how many lists. In this case, it's just the one list of the on-time arrival percentages, so that's okay. And then this is going to ask us, is that list in column A? Yes, it is. And do we want the results in column B? Let's choose C. It gives us a little more room. And here then is the values that the calculator comes up with. X bar is the mean again, and that's 79.505, which rounds to 79.5. And then here we have the standard deviation given by S sub x of 4.35787. That's the standard deviation, which means that 68% of the data in our on-time arrivals are within 4.358 of the mean. We have this shown in the graph over here. 4.36 plus or minus, and 2 standard deviations would be plus or minus 0.872, and 3 standard deviations would be plus or minus 13.08. Knowing this terminology is important when analyzing data and working with normal distributions, and will be helpful for us as we go into future statistics tutorials.